African American.
Yes.
We have Latino.
Yes.
We have Samoan.
Yes.
We have Filipino. We have progressive white. We have elders. We have pastors. We have community leaders. We have political leaders. We have children. We even have infants that represent a broad spectrum of what urban America looks like. And today you came, but you came representing your community. You came representing those loved ones who have died. You came representing those loved ones who are locked away in prison for crimes many of them never committed. In fact, the only crime many of us have committed is the crime of our color, the crime of being black, the crime of driving while black, the crime of driving while Latino. In fact, the crime of just being red, yellow, and poor in this state has become a crime that we've got to change. Never having met a young black man, never having met a young Latino or Samoan young brother, but you're passing laws, making laws. We know why you're doing it. You're being lobbied by the prison industry. You're being lobbied by the prison guard. You're being lobbied by the district attorneys and the police unions because somebody used to tell me crime did not pay. We thought crime didn't pay until we looked at California's budget and found out crime does pay. It doesn't pay you and I, but there are some people been getting fat off of a prison industrial complex. People been getting fat off of young people dropping out of school. And there's so much silence when it comes to 70% recidivism in the state of California. Why is there so much silence with young black and brown and red and yellow men being murdered on the streets of California, yet we can never solve the crime? Why is there no emergency when the prisons are 40% overcrowded? Yet you talk about you spend $46,000 a year on an inmate. Surely you're not spending that money on that little brother in a 5x6 cell. Then who's getting that money? Which means that 57,000 inmates that they say should be released represents a savings of $2 billion. $2 billion that you can save just by releasing people that shouldn't be in prison in the first place. Why would you fight that? Why would you oppose that? And tell me something, California. If you have a Department of Corrections and a Department of Rehabilitation, and you've had these men for 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10 years, why aren't these men prepared to be introduced to the community after having them all these years? What have you been doing with the people? Instead of spending $2 billion to house them, then you give that money back to reentry programs, treatment programs, youth programs, community programs, training programs. Well, we shouldn't even have to say this. We have representatives here that should be saying this.
That's right.
We got assembly members that should be saying this. We got state senators that should be saying this. Governor Schwarzenegger shouldn't be able to just to say anything and get away with it. We understand why you do it, because you don't hear from us. We've been silent. Well, the day of being silent is over with. We will be here, and we will, as determined of dealing with rapists and murderers, that now people are being arrested and imprisoned for stealing pizza. People are doing 25 years to life for stealing a pack of cigarettes. Was that the intent of 3 strikes? Prisons have become gladiator school. Somebody goes in for a little drug offense, but has to go into a system. And after they hold you 3 years, 5 years, many of us come out with HIV. Many of us come out with all kind of mind problems. Because prison is not designed to make you better. It's designed to make you a permanent slave. To a system. And if we're tired of it, damn it, we gotta say enough is enough. You got people who recognize it's wrong for 10 cents of every dollar to go to the prison system while you're closing down schools. This is wrong. And so California has set the stage for the whole country. As California goes, so goes the country. So if we can turn around these damnable policies here, we can turn around these damnable policies everywhere in America. We lost a young man in Oakland recently named Oscar Grant, who was brutally murdered by BART police in cold blood, execution style. Why is the silence of the state legislature deafening? Why haven't they gotten busy and organized to tell BART, do the right thing or we'll cut your funding off? Do the right thing or those who lead BART will have to resign. Why is the state legislature so silent?
That's a good question.
In San Francisco, a police officer lost his life at the hands of a youth. And they found that youth, they say, and arrested that youth the same day. And the police union demanded the death penalty. Oscar Grant is murdered in cold blood. And the unions are demanding bail. Demanding patience while we get an understanding as to what he could have been reaching for. Are you saying that the life of Oscar Grant is worth less than a police officer's life?
That's what they say.
The state Black Caucus came out with a report called the State of Black California, in which they listed and documented all of the disparities that black people have in this state. And Karen Bass, the Speaker of the House,